This is the AEW Dynamite September 18, 2024 full show results video, which takes place at Mohegan Sun Arena in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. The show started with a match between Chris Jericho vs Orange Cassidy, and the result of this match was Orange Cassidy defeated Chris Jericho by pinfall with a loaded orange punch. We get a video from last week of Pac and Claudio Castagnoli calling Wheeler Yuta out and telling him to come to work for their upcoming title defense. Claudio isn't mad, he's just disappointed, and Jon Moxley rolls up to tell Wheeler Yuta that he thinks he has the strength in him to do the right thing. Alex Marvez interviews Wheeler Yuta backstage, and he says he's worked his whole career to be a champion and gets cut off by a guy returning his belt to him saying he forgot it. Yuta says he's all over the place, but he's a fighting champion, and if those guys want one more favor, next week he'll kick whoever's ass he has to. The next match happened between Hook vs JD Inc., and the result of this match was Hook defeated JD Inc. by submission with the Red Rum finisher. Private Party are interviewed backstage, and they tell Claudio and the boys if they want to fight, they'll fight, and they'll do it next week at Grand Slam for the trio's belts. Back from the commercial, the Patriarchy are interviewed backstage, and Christian Cage wants to talk about his son Nick Wayne, who has a very big four-way match on Friday, and he's decided that father and son will hold titles at the same time. He takes a shot at Jon Moxley and demands Renee call him the reigning, defending, undisputed, next AEW World Champion, and she obliges. Kip Sabian appears, and Christian berates him and says if he sees his face again he's going to put him in the dirt next to his father. Then we saw a women's tag team match between Mariah May and Serena Deeb vs Queen Aminata and Yuka Sakazaki, and the result of this match was Queen Aminata and Yuka Sakazaki won the match by disqualification when Sakazaki with a diving splash into the crush, back inside, magical girl splash, but Mariah breaks it up with a belt shot and referee Paul Turner has no choice to call the bell. Post-match, May beats Yuka down and leaves her with a kiss. We get a Mina Shirakawa promo where she tells Mariah May she's changed and she doesn't know if she likes it, but she still misses her and thinks they can have more good times. In her heart, she wants Mariah, and if she wants to celebrate and AEW really wants her, Mina is coming. The commentary team talks about Nigel McGuinness' challenge to Bryan Danielson. If Danielson can show up and is healthy, the match will happen, and Taz asks if Bryan is cleared, and what type of shape will he be in. We tried to go to a video package hyping the feud but had brief technical difficulties. They are now fixed as the video airs, showing some old ROH footage with matches between Nigel and Byron. Jon Moxley, Marina Shafir, and Claudio Castagnoli make their entrance, but Private Party tries to jump them in the crowd. Moxley and co get the better of them, and Castagnoli destroys Mark Quinn with a chokebreaker worthy of Deucalion. They continue dismantling Private Party, Commander appears in the ring, suicide dive, and then Swiss Death. Marina Shafir takes Alex Abrahantes down and grabs his microphone. Moxley dumps out a toolbox and he's got a hammer. Jon Moxley says he could end Private Party's careers right now, but he's not gonna do that. They've been here since the beginning and they're in the same spot they were 5 years ago, and why? He's going to give them friction, resistance, an obstacle to overcome, and tells them to consider this a gift, and he breaks Isaiah Cassidy's hand with the damn hammer. Darby Allin comes out and nails Mox with the skateboard, and Moxley and Darby are in the ring. Marina holds back Claudio and Darby swings the skateboard at Moxley and he ducks, leaving the ring. Darby grabs a mic and tells Mox that he is not the same man from 5 years ago, and he tells Moxley he will win at the Grand Slam and then go on to become the new AEW World Champion in his home state at WrestleDream. The next match happened between Ricochet vs the Beast Mortos, and the result of this match was Ricochet defeated the Beast Mortos by pinfall by Vertigo finisher. Tony Schiavone is in the ring to interview Hangman Adam Page, and Page says he's watched and listened for a long while because he knew a day like this would come when Swerve Strickland was dealt with and would be gone. And he knew it wouldn't just be Swerve that needed to pay, there'd be dozens and dozens who stood with him, protected him, and supported him, and apparently, he's surrounded by them right now. When he hears those voices he thinks of being home suspended and thinks of another voice loud and clear, above them, a voice coming clear from the commentary desk. He turns to face Tony menacingly, Schiavone begs off, but Jeff Jarrett's music hits, and he makes the save. Double J and Hangman brawl until security and referees swarm to pull them apart. Jarrett gets on the mic and says he'll be damned if he'll let Hanger lay a single hand on Tony, and he's at the front of the line of guys in the back wanting to whoop Page's ass. If it's the last thing he does in his career, the last outlaw is gonna kick his ass. We go backstage where Will Ospreay and Ricochet are catching up, and Will offers no hard feelings. Ricochet has been thinking about Ospreay telling him to get his wins up, but from his point of view, the moment he stepped foot in here everybody has been trying to call him out. Everybody here is more worried about Ricochet than they are about Will, so he'll do the honors. Next week Ospreay is busy looking for tag gold and he wishes him the best, but the week after, Ricochet went to Tony Khan and got a match for the 5th anniversary of Dynamite against Will Ospreay for the AEW International Championship. They'd had matches that changed the landscape of wrestling, and he'll be seeing him real soon. In the main event of the show, we saw a match between the Don Callis family, Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher, and Will Ospreay versus the Elite, Kazuchika Okada, Matthew Jackson, and Nicholas Jackson. The result of this match was Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, and Will Ospreay defeated the Elite by pinfall when Ospreay delivered a hidden blade to Nicholas, and then both Ospreay and Fletcher delivered Coriolis on Matthew Jackson, and Fletcher gets the pin. After the match, Ospreay and Takeshita exchange words as Fletcher looks on. Ospreay, Fletcher, and give up the United Empire hand symbol, with Don Callis in the ring celebrating, as Takeshita jaws at the Elite who make their way up the ramp, as the show goes off the air.